All right, guys, we just got our brand new Pixel 10 in this beautiful indigo colorway. So far, I am loving it, but there are a few things that we need to do. I know there are a lot of you all out there just like me. So what we're gonna do is get this phone all set up, and I wanna show you guys the first things you need to do whenever you get your brand new Pixel 10. Let's get it. All right, the very first thing I do on a brand new Pixel phone is to jump down into settings and see if there are any new software updates. So go to settings, go to system, go to software updates, and just go ahead and run the latest software update. There is a possibility that the phone that you obtained was sitting around for a while. So there may be a software update or two that you need to run. So this software update is going to take a little while to run. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one while this downloads in the background. All right, the next thing you want to do is check your display settings. So I noticed out of the box, this phone actually ships with 120 hertz turned off. So what we're gonna do is jump over to the display settings, scroll to the very bottom and turn on smooth display. This allows your phone to go from 60 hertz all the way up to 120 hertz. So this to me is a requirement, and I feel like Google should honestly have it on out of the box. But now my phone feels very fast and very smooth, which I definitely love and enjoy. So 120 hertz is definitely a requirement. Now, jump back over to the display settings and go ahead and turn on dark theme. Not only does dark theme typically look better, whenever you are on a screen that is fully black versus entirely white like this, your phone will end up saving battery because your AMOLED display actually uses less power. Now my current theme is like a dark blue, which looks really good with the Material 3. But whenever you use dark theme and an app supports dark theme, you will save a lot of batteries. This is the very first battery saving measure you can do for yourself to give you a better experience overall. Now I highly recommend just looking through the rest of the display settings and adjusting as needed. For one, screen timeout, I do not like 30 seconds for my screen to time out. Let's jump that over to 2 minutes for myself. That's what I prefer. And as you guys see here, there are a few other settings you can try out. You can use adaptive timeout and screen attention. So you can see those options there. It's not something that I typically use, but it is there. You know, Google and all of their AI features and everything. We'll jump back, and then under display size and text size. So within this display, you can adjust your font size and your display size. So say for example, this display is too small or too large, you can actually go in and adjust it to make it fit your needs. So as you see, the display is just a lot larger, the text is a lot larger, and that's honestly without adjusting the font size. But you can go in here and play around and adjust this as you like it. And last but not least, within the lock screen itself, there are a lot of adjustments inside of here. But the main thing I want to go ahead and show you guys is the always on display. Now, what this does is it allows your phone's screen to display whenever your screen is off. So the benefit of this is that you can see your notification icons, you can see your time and weather without actually having your phone on. So if you set it down just like so, you can still see that information. And of course, now that we have Pixel Snap, say for example, I'm sitting at my desk, and say for example, I have my phone propped and mounted just like that, I can see the display with my clock and my notifications. So I really like the always on display feature. Now also within the lock screen, you could turn on the now playing feature if that's something that you would like to use. This is a feature that allows your phone to recognize music whenever your phone's screen is off, which is really cool. So you'll see right there on your always on display, it shows whatever song is playing. So say for example, you're at the bar and you hear this song you just love. You can look down at your Pixel and you can see who the artist is and what the song is. So I really like this feature. And there's a couple of other settings down here below you can take a look at. All right, now that we have our display all smoothened out, we have our lock screen all adjusted with the always on display, we need to customize the rest of this phone. Now we can actually go in here, we can hold down on the home screen and then choose wallpaper and style. Now we can actually come into here and then choose whatever wallpaper we want. Now this is pulling some photos from Google Photos, which is great. Like I said, I haven't downloaded anything locally to this phone. And as you see, there are a lot of different options you can choose from, which is one thing I really enjoy about the Google Pixels. Now, one thing I want to show you guys really quick is the AI wallpaper option. So you can actually click on the AI wallpaper option and then choose a template or theme to start your AI wallpaper. And as you see here, there are a lot of different options. So I'm going to choose terrain, surreal. Let's do surreal beach in shades of blue. And let's just see what that looks like here. Not sure if a blue beach is what I'm looking for, but we have to stick with the indigo theme, right? Swipe to view more wallpapers, and wow, this is actually gorgeous. I love all of these wallpapers. I really like this first one. So we will hit the blue check mark here. And it says the wallpaper was set. So here we go. This is our beautiful wallpaper. And let's see what it looks like on the lock screen. Looks really cool. So that's how you adjust your wallpapers and also use the AI wallpaper. Now, also what you guys can do is hold down on the home screen, choose customize lock screen, and then it takes you back to the wallpaper and style screen. So this display is just showing us what the clock looks like with our wallpaper. So if we swipe down here and then choose clock, we can actually adjust the way the clock looks. So if you swipe here, you can actually choose how thin or how wide the clock will look. So that's just a clock face width. You can go here and choose a different color, which is really cool. This really allows you to theme your wallpaper how you like. You can choose the brightness and darkness of the particular color you're choosing. You can go here to size. So large is an option, but if you turn off large, it jumps it up and puts the clock in the top left corner. Let's jump back to style, and then you can actually choose from different styles as well, as you can see here. Now, I really enjoy using the original style because this is the one that allows you to change the clock face width, as you guys can see here. Now, this color is a little bit too dim. Let's do this, and let's go with the original clock. A little bit thinner like that. Hit apply. So now whenever we lock the screen, boom, that is what our clock looks like. Now, I am the kind of person who enjoys having more apps on my screen. So right now it's set up to have 4 icons across. I want the ability to have more than that. So if I hold down on home screen, go back to wallpaper and style, what I can do here is swipe down and then choose the layout option. And what I'm going to choose is the small option. Now, of course, you can choose large, XL, oh my goodness, medium, etc. But I really like the way small looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. And now my particular home screen allows a lot more icons. So if I just, as an example, pull down Google Photos, pull down YouTube, pull down the Play Store and Gmail, and then I'll bring back my widgets here, like the way Google had it set up. And it now looks like that. But then if I swipe up and go to YouTube Music as an example and put that here, now I have a lot more icons on my home screen. So for me personally, I just enjoy the way this looks along with the usability of having this type of home screen. Now, as you guys see, this little icon in the bottom right is Gmail, of course, but it is highlighted with a ring around it. That means you don't actually have an icon placed in your dock and that they are using the Google recommended icons or applications. So if you do not like that, what you can just do is just go inside of your apps and just add something to that particular slot, and you now have your own list of applications. Or if you are the opposite and you don't like having your own apps down there and you want Google to tell you what to do, you can do that as well. So that's really cool. And guys, while we are on the home screen, the applications here are not matching the Material 3 theme, which is blue. And you can actually have these applications match the theme that's on your phone. All you have to do is hold back on the home screen once again, go to wallpaper and style, and then swipe down until you see the icons option. So go ahead and click on icons, and then you can turn on the themed icons option. And as you guys see here, the applications themselves go from a standard non-uniform theme to a now uniform look. So you can do that. Hit save, and then when I swipe up, oh man, look at those icons. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is only for the home screen. If you swipe up, all of your apps within your app drawer are non-themed, but that's okay. As long as it looks good on the home screen, that's all I care about. All right, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to jump into our phone application. And we are going to adjust some of our call filtering, caller ID, spam, and all of that good stuff. So what I'd like to do is choose the first option, which is caller ID and spam, and make sure you have the see caller ID and spam ID option turned on. This is so useful. We get so many spam calls nowadays that we need to use Google and their AI to assist us with getting rid of all of the junk. So this option I always have on. And then if you jump back, you do have the option to try out the scam detection. Now I am going to go ahead and turn this on. Now, obviously this is mentioned to be a beta feature. Now, if you have any issues with missing phone calls that you deem imperative or important, go ahead and turn this off and just make sure that you aren't missing the calls that you need. But for me, I would rather have less calls than not. But for me, I want Google to go ahead and get rid of all of the junk calls that I don't need. Now, there are a few more things here, but the most important thing for me is call screen. I would highly recommend to turn on call screening. So essentially what it does is Google picks up the phone for you whenever somebody that is a non-contact calls, right? So not only is it blocking the spam callers, but if it's a call that they think isn't spam, Google will go ahead and answer the phone and it will ask why they are calling. And Google will present this information back to me without actually ringing my phone. So it's pretty quiet, it's pretty fluid. I really enjoy it. I haven't played around with the protection levels too much, but I might as well go ahead and turn on maximum protection. I really like Google's AI when it comes to call screening. So we'll try out maximum detection. We'll see how it does. And if I have any issues, we can just go ahead and turn it down. And if you've never used this feature before, or you can actually click on how call screening works, and they actually have a video here for you to check out. And then if we scroll down here, you can actually save the call screening audios to where you can actually listen in the future on a call screen. So maybe somebody called and you really needed to know that information that was presented to your call screening Google Assistant. You can actually go in and see that. And then of course you have the ability to delete those older recordings and transcripts. Guys, call screening is a major go. And there are a lot of other features in here that you can go ahead and play around with, like hold for me, direct my call notes. There is a lot the Google Pixel can do. And I can't talk about all of it within this video, but go ahead and look into these options and see what you think is going to be useful for you. Now, actually, one of the new features very quickly that Google brought with the Pixel 10 is Magic Queue. Now, whenever you click on it, it looks like it downloads whatever it needs to make Magic Queue work. But essentially what Magic Queue does is it uses AI to read context of, so essentially what Magic Queue does is it reads context and presents data to you. So for example, say I'm texting my wife and she asks, hey, when is your next meeting? Google can actually read my calendar for me instantaneously and then present that data as a suggestion to go ahead and respond back with. So I've seen this done in the demos, but I haven't used it yet personally. But it looks like you can actually adjust quite a few settings here. But yeah, this is one of the new features with the Pixel 10, so I highly recommend you guys checking it out and trying it out as well. Now we're going to jump into the camera here and check out the camera features. Now, Google does give you the ability to use your location while using your camera, and I actually like that feature. So for example, say we are on vacation and we take a bunch of photos, it will save your location of where you are and add it to the data within the photo on your Google Photos. So there are a few settings here within the photos. You can go ahead and read that and see if these are settings you want. I personally will use all of these eventually, so let's go ahead and hit done. And the main thing I want to look at firstly is the video. So let's go ahead and jump into video, and I want to make sure that I am running on 4K, at least 4K 30 in HDR. So up here, as you guys see, we're on full HD, which is highly unacceptable in 2025. So what we can do is go ahead and hit that top left corner and you can see all of your video settings. So I highly recommend you guys to, at the very least, turn on 4K. So Google, unfortunately, still does not support 4K 60 and 10-bit HDR. As you see there, it turned off the HDR whenever I turned on 60. But at a minimum, guys, I recommend you all turn on 4K, 30, and then HDR, of course, is personal preference. But I like the way HDR looks. This video is going to be recorded in HDR. So you'll see what that looks like. But I highly recommend you guys going in and choosing 4K as your standard default recording quality, just so that way you get the highest quality. And I personally really enjoy the speech enhancement feature. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And it's cool because you can actually see a little demo here. But the speech enhancement really works well if you are not using a microphone. And then of course you have the ability to turn video stabilization on and off, which I obviously recommend you keep video stabilization on. And if we jump back to photo, guys, you can click on the settings here and you can just adjust the photos that you are going to get out of your phone. I can't wait to test the Google Pixel 10's cameras. There have been some concerns with this new camera setup, so I can't wait to test it further. But these are the settings here, guys, you can look at. And if you hit the dots right here, the first thing I noticed, guys, for me, the grid type, I enjoy having a grid on my cameras. It allows me to line up the photos and videos better. So I like to have 3x3 on, and that is what the 3x3 grid looks like. Then if we jump back into settings here, there's a bunch of different settings here for you guys to look at, but one thing I wanted to show you was the quick access controls option. So whenever we turn that on and we go back, you can actually adjust the exposure, the brightness, and the color temperature, which is really, really cool. And it's just a feature that allows you to very quickly adjust some settings within your camera. So I do recommend you guys turning that on and trying that out. And then guys, going back to settings, we can just see that there are a lot of different settings in here. Just go ahead and play around with these and see what will be useful for you. As an example, you can swipe down here and you can actually turn on the ability to take raw photos, which is something that I enjoy doing. And last but not least, I enjoy the frequent faces setting here. It essentially uses Google's AI to take better photos, especially of people that it recognizes. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. You're going to read that and pause it and read it if you want. But I do like using the frequent faces option. Whenever you turn on the raw option, this is what it looks like. You get a JPEG only versus raw option. So if you guys know what raw photo taking is, that's how you can get it on the Google Pixel 10. I also recommend you use some type of Find My feature on your phone. Now the Google Pixel phones comes with the Find Hub, and this particular app allows you to see all of your devices, and you can also find them, you can reset them, you can ping them, just like on how you can do with Find My iPhone. So I highly recommend you all set up the Find Hub on your Google Pixel devices as well. I've got a lot of accessories coming in. I've got different cases, I've got different screen protectors coming in so I can test it out for you all. Now, if you use this phone with a screen protector, you may notice that the screen may not register your fingers and your interactions as well as it did without a screen protector. And the way to fix that is to actually jump back into the display settings, scroll to the very bottom, and you can actually choose the touch sensitivity option. And you can increase your sensitivity if you are using a screen protector. And as you guys see here, it just makes your screen more responsive to lighter touches, which you may actually need whenever you're using a screen protector. Once again, this is the Pixel 10. Those are just a bunch of random tips and tricks I have for you and your brand new phone. You can think of anything else to share in the comments for other people to read and to try out. Go ahead and leave that information down below in the comments section. Let us know what you do whenever you get a brand new Pixel device. And let me know if you picked up one of the Google Pixel 10 series devices. This indigo blue is absolutely gorgeous on this Pixel 10. I will have a Pixel 10 Pro coming very soon. If you found any of these tips helpful to you, go ahead and like this video, share it, and also subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.